Hello, it's Simon Zutshi here, and in this video I want to talk to you about no money down property in the UK. Now, in fact, what I'm going to talk about works not only in the UK, but actually no money down property anywhere. But I want to talk about this because a lot of people think, is it true? Can you really buy property no money down? Or is it just a load of BS? Well, let me tell you, I and literally hundreds of my students have purchased property using none of their own money, and I'm going to share with you 4 or 5 ways in this video about how you can do the same. So when you buy an investment property, typically you put in a 25% deposit to go with a 75% mortgage you get from a bank. Now, the banks want you to put some money in because they want you to have some skin in the game. If something goes wrong, they want to make sure you don't just walk away from the property, which is what happened in the late 2000s after the credit crunch, when many people had got very low money down investments, they had high mortgages, and when things went south, they just threw the keys in. So quite rightly, banks want to see you have some skin in the game. So generally, when you buy property, some money needs to be put in. But here's the key distinction I want you to understand. It doesn't necessarily have to be your money. And let me explain some of the ways you can do that. So the first thing I want to talk about is what we call a joint venture. So if you've gone out and found a really good investment property, and that's the key thing, you've got to learn how to find great investments. And that's probably the most important thing you need to learn first of all. Once you can find great deals, even if you've got your own money, you're probably going to run out of your own money at some point. So you might want to start thinking about doing joint ventures. So a joint venture is where you've got a great deal, someone else has got the money, and they maybe don't know how to find deals, they don't want to find deals, they don't have the time to find them, or they don't have the inclination to do it. So you go out and find the great deal, they come and put the money in. You're both putting value into the equation here. And so that's the first way to do deals. And the other way, actually, that people don't think about is maybe the joint venture partner could be the property owner. What do I mean by that? Well, maybe you find a property where you can maybe convert it from a house into a 6-bedroom HMO, so you can add value to that property. Or maybe it's a commercial building can be converted into residential building, broken down into small units. So you can add some value to that property. Well, maybe if the owner doesn't need the money now and they'd like to make a bit more money than just selling you the property, but they don't have the money to do the work themselves, they don't have the knowledge or expertise to do the work, maybe you can bring the knowledge and expertise and you can bring the funding. See, there are banks, there are lenders, people like crowdproperty.com. If you have a good enough project, the owner can put the project in. You can bring the money from Crowd Property, so you don't have to actually use any of your money as long as it's a good enough project, and the project can be funded 100% using other people's money. Then at the end of the project, either you refinance or you sell it, and the owner gets their share, Crowd Property get their money back, and you get to keep the profits. That's another way of doing a joint venture, where you joint venture with the owner, again, not using any of your own money. The next thing you can do is there are people out there, maybe friends or family, who've got money in the bank that's doing nothing for them at the moment. Interest rates around the world are really, really low. And if someone's got money in the bank, actually, they're probably losing money because inflation, the rate of prices going up, is probably more than the interest they're getting in the bank. So you can help these people. And I want you to realize that if you use someone else's money and give them a great return on the money, this is not just them helping you, it's you helping them as well. So it's a win-win. So again, you go out and find a great property investment, ideally something where you can buy it, you can add some value, and then you can refinance it or sell it to make a profit. So you can use the other person's money, they put the money in, they get a fixed return on their cash, and once you sell or refinance, they get their money back plus the interest, and you walk away with the profits, or if you want to retain it, hold on to it and rent it out. So they've got all their money back, you've got none of your money in the deal, you've got a property that's going to give you cash flow for as long as you own the asset. So again, another really good strategy. Thinking about working with the seller is sometimes people will sell their properties and they don't want to sell at a discount, and they're not going to give you any deals, but they're just going to put the money into the bank. So I've done a number of deals where I've bought the property, so I've had to put money in at first, someone else's money, and then the owner, once they've got all of that money sitting around, I've actually done a loan with the owner. So I then be able to pay back the person who lent me the money to buy the property in the first place. And I've got a loan, I'm paying interest to the person who sold the property. They're happy, they've sold the property, and they're getting a really good return on their money. So that's another strategy you can use. Then also you can do what's called a purchase lease option. Purchase lease option is where you have the rights to buy a property at some time in the future within a fixed time period, and you rent the property in the meantime. So you can rent it out, you can get cash flow coming in straight away, and then you can buy that property in the future if you want to buy it. Now, you don't have to buy it, you can assign it onto someone else, or at the end of the contract, you can walk away. To be ethical, I think you need to give the property back to them in the same condition or even better condition than when they first gave the property to you, but it means you get cash flow and potential equity growth from a property you don't own. Now you might think, okay, Simon, well, how do I actually buy that property? Well, hopefully, if the option period's been long enough, the value of the property might have gone up over time. So you can, if you have a number of these deals, you can sell a few of them on, take the cash profit to use as the deposit for the ones you want to keep, or again, you do joint ventures, you do private loans, whatever, and then because the value's gone up, you buy it, you refinance it, take the money out. So these are some of the strategies, and it's about knowing how to help the seller. Not every strategy will work in every circumstance. You've got to get good at finding sellers who are a bit more flexible on the terms of the sale, maybe. You've got to find out what's important to them, ask them lots of questions, listen to what they say, and then come up with an ethical win-win solution that's going to work for them and also work for you. People are out there, but you've got to believe it. You see, if you think no money down deals are not possible, you're absolutely right. You'll never find or never be able to do any no money down deals. One of the best ways of building your belief that this is possible is by learning from other people just like you who've done this kind of deal before. That's why watching case studies of people who've bought property no money down, because they've done it, it means you can do it as well. So you have a choice. Either you think, yeah, this is just BS, I don't think it's possible, and that's fine if that's your belief, or you have an open mind, you look into it and start learning from people who've actually done these kind of deals and believe, actually, maybe this is possible. It's not possible in every circumstance. You gotta educate yourself, you've got to get out there and find some great deals. But if you're finding great deals, there are lots of ways of financing them, as I've explained in this video, using none of your own money. So I do hope this video has been enlightening and opened your mind. If you've liked it, please do like it. Please share with other people. Come and comment below. I'd love to hear your feedback on this. But also make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get more free information from me about successful property investing. So my name's Simon Zutshi. As always, I encourage you to invest with knowledge, invest with skill. Thanks for watching.